right, this is classic. Now, what we have here is people are sending in the results from every round. We're getting phone calls into the studio, and people are sending faxes saying who they think wins each round. This is classic. By all means, keep the faxes coming. We have Bill from Orange. Bill's got this thing broken down into 5 categories: sports content, smack content, smart content, comedy content, and intensity and delivery. So far, he has Raider Mike in the lead. The preliminary scorecard. This guy sent an early exit poll. The Doc will not rain, not one of his best efforts. No Cal, no chance on this epic day. Loyola Marymount, the early leader. And then he writes, P.S. Beware, the mayor is coming. And then he sent the next fax, which says, the mayor, should I say game, set, and match? During his call, I heard the distinct sounds of the fat lady yodeling. The critic in L.A., it's signed. So go ahead and score this thing at home as you go along. These guys are sending in their results from every round. All right, back to the smack-off. On an epic Friday in the jungle, let's go to Orange. The man has his own gloss. If you're a caller and the host gives you a gloss, you know you must have game. Eddie the Rope, you are next up. Step on in.
My boy, Dan Smack. Romy, you're huge, and I'm enjoying this big time, Romy. And let me go ahead and get mine off right quick. Now, Romy, I told you this a while back. When you dubbed me a rope, you didn't make me the most popular, you didn't make me the favorite, and you sure enough didn't make me the most liked. What you did, Romy, you made me the center of attention. And my mama always told me, she said, son, if you're the center of attention and the spotlight's on you, perform. Now, I got a little bit of a problem with this competing in the jungle, Romy. I do not compete in the jungle, and I hope the jungle does not compete with me. Now, I didn't really appreciate the ranking system for faxes. I do not rank them. I just enjoy them. And now my worst fear comes true. Now they may rank the callers. Now, the callers in the jungle, we do not compete, as I said earlier. But there are no winners or losers in the jungle, Romy, just smackers. I do not strive for a huge call because I'm a purist. I just want to smack like no other. Now, you and Lance, the evil one, have a problem with this, what you call the improv. And yes, I know for a fact it's a dig at me. Romy, it is no improv. It's just that I want to entertain my jungle. Okay, that's all it is. It doesn't put me in the position. First of all, the jungle loves me, Romy. I know they do. It doesn't put me in a position to get the dickhead or self-serving or ego-tripping. It puts me in a position of responsibility. I wear many hats in this here jungle, Romy. Brick, Magic Johnson, Laker, Raider, caretaker, and sometimes even Tarzan. Now, I service many areas of the jungle, Romy, because the jungle wants to be entertained. Now, some people accuse me of talking about myself too much. No, Romy, I just get a lot of respect when I go out to the real world. Now, Romy, I want to tell you one thing. I remember a 71-year-old man was telling a friend of his, he says he's a jungle dweller. He loves the jungle. He said on his deathbed, if he wanted to hear some smack before he goes on to his maker, he said no docs, no bricks, and no Lance Allworth wannabes. He said he wanted to hear the rope smack because he knows if he hears me smack, he would die with a smile on his face. Epic. A lady friend of mine had a I am a friend of Eddie and Orange t-shirt and an Eddie the Rope cap. Wore it to the Delamo and Fox Hill Mall. She said people approached her and they appeared to be very excited about meeting someone who knows the rope. Now, Romy, I've been dealing with XTRA since 1986. I don't need no King Schmacker label to smack. For you see, Romy, I have a license to smack anytime, anywhere, anybody. And when you dubbed me a rope back in the day, Romy, I remember when Tom, the crackhead, called from Claremont, and somebody named Bruce on the fax machine called in and ripped you for dubbing me a rope, Romy, disrespecting me as a man and my manhood. And as ER, a great contributor, once said, it's just plain old jealousy. That's all it is. Now, in closing, Romy, I will tell you this. I realize how important I am to the jungle. And unless you get rid of me, I will continue to tear off my shirt, grab a vine, put knife in teeth, swing hard into the jungle, knock over a tree off or two, not to worry, they can rebuild. Not to worry, they can rebuild our jungle, and I will continue to do this. Why? Because I am the rope in this here jungle, and that being the case, it puts me in a position, as I said, of responsibility. My loyalty is to the jungle faithful. I want to thank them not only for their support, I thank them for appreciating me, for I too appreciate them for their contributions to the jungle. As long as I am here, humorous, entertaining, smack will continue.
All right, Ed, late. Actually, the improv reference was not to you, Eddie, but to other brain-deads who call up and try and be comedic when they're not. Actually, Eddie the Rope always has comedic value. He has entertainment value, no doubt about that. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Remember, if you want to keep it under 5 minutes, I have no problem with that. Out of respect to the legends, I'm not cutting too many. But if we have to, we will. Banging right along. Big West contingency comes from Fullerton. Jason, you are in. Good to have you.
Ben Smack. Hey, basically, just like Hollywood, I'm not expecting to walk away with anything, but I am honored to be nominated. I'd like to thank the Academy and my parents for spoiling me, that made me the condescending, selfish smacker that I am. But first of all, I'd like to explain to the new listeners and some of the weaklings who call in on a daily basis what it's like to have game in the jungle. As Doc Mike said, keep calling. It just makes us look better. But just in case you're wondering, if you have the game to come into the jungle, just like Romy says, if you have to ask, you don't. But just a little words of advice here. First of all, when you call in, every other word you use, it should be a glossary term. Keep that up. Second of all, never back up your smack. Third of all, end the call with a huge good night now. Keep calling, weaklings. I know this is probably walking the thin line of blasphemy in the jungle, but I'd like to take down some of the favorites here in the Smack Off today. First of all, Doc Mike. Though he is a legend, he does spend a lot of his time basically pummeling these weaklings who call in from the unemployment line from a payphone who's basically nobody. It's not hard to take down a weakling, but, Doc Mike does have some smack. Second of all, William from San Diego, Romy, just watch him. He's a reader. Interrupt him. If he starts off with the same word he left off with, that's a clue. And last of all, Rome, I can't really think of this. Who's ranked number 1 in baseball today for college?
Clemson.
Check again.
I thought I'd slide that one in. All right, Jason, nice try. Because Cal State Fullerton is number 1 does not mean you have a chance to be in the top 10. Good night now. William in San Diego, I think, does not read his calls. That would definitely be my contention. All right, we have 8 down, about 20, 22 to go. We'll see how it plays out. Hey, go ahead. Keep your exit polls coming. Update the rounds round by round. Take a time out. That's hour number 1 of the Smack Off. Into the tank. You know who the leaders are at this point. I don't want to give it away. We'll come back. Second hour coming up. Good to have you in the jungle. This is the Noble Sports Radio Network.